I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. At first, I want to introduce Megan, who's filling in for our brand new truck treasurer, Melissa Davis. She was practiced in last night, and today is her first day. So Megan's gonna
Congratulations.
show her the feet. Do I have a motion to accept the leak adjustments? Or was there any questions?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and approve the yards that need attention. If I have a motion to accept the yards I've turned in.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Okay, we have minutes approval from July the 9th, 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we have Mr. Parsley here from comment.
Thank you. I've got three pay applications that need approval to forward on the council. And then I'm going to give you an update on the lead service line. I checked on some field orders that we've issued on that for some things that they discovered with the work. So first one, we'll go through the one we've done for a year now, Division A, which is the wastewater treatment plant pay application number 22. This is for this is going to be for work that they completed from June 26th of 2026 to July 25th of 2026. Basically, it's insulation on piping and a few of the other things about it. The plant's up and operational. We're meeting our effluent limits. The phosphorus was a little bit high, but that's basically just tweaking the chemical to get that. So that's rectified now. If we got a couple more days in the month, we probably would have made our monthly average just fine. But all the parameters are getting well. Had a little hiccup on the UV systems and some alarms. I think we've got that fixed now. So basically, they had a 30-day demonstration period. I say a little bit, I always want to get 50 alarms. But anyway, they've got like a 30-day demonstration period to make sure everything's working the way it should be. We're basically through that at this point. They have not requested substantial completion yet, so the warranty period has not started. So we're still well within that, but we are flowing through the new plant. So they should be in position to do all the old plans and the other work to get things wrapped up. So been kind of slow this last month though. Get all that as far as actual work goes. This application is only $29,000, but that's what. So we are live out there now with the new plan. So with that, I would request approval of the application for 22 to draw Kimball for division for wastewater treatment plant, $29,900.
Motion to send to council.
Yes.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Second one is Division B, that is the collection system work. And they've been on that, working on the 36-inch effluent line and the 24-inch force main line that's out on Base Road, basically on the other side of it. So it's down the side, working to get to where it's work. They've done quite a bit of work on that. You see the pipe all over town. That's project. So this is Blankenberger Brothers, Division B for the collection system upgrades, application number 22, work from June 12th, 2026 to July 25th, 2026 for $964,537.41.
Do I have a motion to send to council? Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Last one is the lead service line removal project. They've been actively potholing, identify the type of materials throughout the city and the areas that we've identified. They've also been obtaining rights of entry get my soapbox and say, if anybody out there listening has a right of entry request, please sign that and get it in. As of next week, it will be out of inspections to do. We're waiting on additional right of entry. Yeah. So they're going to shift gears into doing the replacement work, hoping we get more right of entry in. There are some of those where we obtained information on the city side that we can check, seeing that they're lead, and we can't get on the customer side. If we can't get on that side, we can't replace any of it.
And then the dime is on the
And
customer.
the dime will be on the customer in the future.
And we have a substantial amount. that
Yes.
has signed.
Yeah. Right now it's free. We need the permission to be able to get on the property. So, so they've done, I think they count somewhere around 175 or so potholes, probably got about somewhere around 50% of the potholes done that we need to get done. We had originally estimated about 30% of what we investigated would need replaced, and that's actually what we're finding. So that's good. That's good. Keep everything low in the budget. We'll get a lot fixed. So with that, I've got application number 2 for Love Excavating Service Line Replacement Project from June 26th through July 24th, 2026. The amount due this application is $60,091.
I have a motion to send to council. Second, all in favor?
Now, 2 field orders I need to go over with you guys on the lead service line project. One is on State Road 66, the strip from Angelo's. I think there's 5 services there that are connected to an old 2-inch line. There's a better 10-inch line running parallel to that. Since 66 is getting torn up right now, we really need to get those services off of the 2-inch line onto the 10-inch line. We've got a window of basically a couple weeks to get that done and not be an NDOT flood. So we've issued a field order to the contractor to get that location work done. We don't know the material type and won't know the material type until they dig it up the road to see if it's eligible for grant money. So if it's not, the exposure to the city is basically about $20,000. Talking with Eric and Don, Mayor and everybody, it seems like that would be a well use of some of these loan funds that we've got. So the intent is to go ahead and get started on that work next week, so that we can get it on the proper line before the knock comes in, and we don't have to cut a brand new road in the future. So don't really need action on that, just the awareness, basically. The second one is here on Main Street, basically between 3rd and 5th. Some of the properties on the south side of Main are connected to an old line, small line, 2-inch line in the alley. There's a better line in construction. So they attempted to pothole one of those in the alley, and it ruptured the main. So it created a leak on that. So they stopped doing that, because obviously that just leads to a whole host of other problems. So the field order is to relocate those businesses, those buildings to the front. So there'll be more plumbing work that has to be done inside, run out the front. They'll do the minimum amount of disturbance and have to do the sidewalk curb to get through the main. It is right on the side, basically. And relocate all of those services to the front. Then they're going to go back and dig up the old services and see what the materials are. Then that'll tell us what's eligible for grant, what's not. Worst case scenario, that's probably about $100,000. We know 2 of them that they already looked at. So those are going to be qualified, at least on the utility side there. So that's one case where we hope we do find lead, which will actually be in here. We'll reuse the existing meters, set new meter boxes. If eligible, all that costs would be eligible. The meters themselves are not. We know that. We're usually just a meter, if we have to reset, yeah. So, so anyway, that works not as time sensitive as 66, so we're gonna get 66 stuff done first. I think they've got permission, permission from everybody on Main Street if they needed to get it built. So, anyway, that's just correct a problem that Alan's been talking about for years. So,
Yeah.
that's all I have.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. So we've had 3 complaints in different areas of the city that they feel like they need some speed control. One of them is down by the river. We would have addressed that last meeting, that I'm sick. And one is over by the food pantry, and the other one is over on Fifth Street. I've given you several different choices. We have the stencils back here that we can put on the ground. If you want, we can order more stencils that are, different pictures. We can get one of the lights that tell how fast they're going, so maybe they'll slow down, or we can put in speed bumps. And so they have pre-looked at everything before the meeting started. And I was wondering maybe what you guys think be the best fit. I know each location is probably going to be a different fit, but so on the Fifth Street, Dean actually looks at that street a lot, I'm sure.
Every day.
Yeah. So if you have any suggestions for it.
I like the idea when we look through these for the Fifth Street, as well as from where I'm. So I like the idea of the light with the speed
Okay.
being congested with being up from the grade school. It's an extra notice. Being like you said, living there. Yes, there's
And
not
then
one out of
that-
every 5 cars that's popping Seminary Street is
Okay.
going probably.
And
about-
it would probably be on Seminary Street, not Fifth.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so which is, I think a lot of what we can see, what I see in there personally is a lot when they're turning. There's a lot of congestion where people do take that turn a little bit quicker, coming from the south side here
Right.
that way. But I don't, speed bump, it's going to be, I mean, it's heavily trafficked back and forth. And my concern is, once again, the speed bump maintenance.
And it has a children's playing sign.
And there's a children's
Already
playing
there.
sign down
Okay.
there currently. And I
Okay.
think there's a school sign on that road up there too.
Okay. What do you
What do you
think?
think, Joe?
I think that's
Okay.
what we agreed to.
Okay. Yes,
Where on Fifth Street is the problem?
it's Short Fifth. So over there where the old school corporation.
School
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Are there any comments or questions regarding that placement? Okay.
I always think of this, I'm like.
Yeah. Do I have a motion to
So
put
moved.
in the streetlight?
Mhm.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So then we have the food pantry. Because there's a bunch of congestion there too.
What do you think, Joe? I know, I was thinking, I know each one is kind of a different scenario.
Mhm.
So I think what we had talked about, it was less speed issues as it is congestion. And I think in that situation that we're not causing, because I remember last time I remember speed bumps was college. But I think in a congestion area like that, that a speed bump would be more effective than a sign. I think that's where we're more bundled up and it's more of a trying to go around. And if people know there's a speed bump, they're going to approach that slow as is.
Yeah, it gets pretty congested if the parking places are taken along the old
How are they good?
holiday field.
Yeah.
Mm,
It really gets congested then.
So would you put it after the food pantry and not totally in between that and the housing, but just somewhere in the holiday foods building area
I would think
across the
so.
street there?
Yeah, enough back from the stop, the turn, but enough to give that need to maintain at slow
Okay.
speed. instead of
Okay.
being able to hit that and then pick up and go.
And especially if we've got one that's movable, we can, if it
I
doesn't,
think there's one in the
I
garage,
think
so
somebody said that.
I'll check with them for sure,
But then if you have a problem, you can move it.
right.
Mhm.
So it's not permanent.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept the speed bump?
So
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then we have the River Road Connie's here. She has had, do you want to talk? You don't have to.
I have, she's called me 3 times, and they have encountered walking two dogs that when they go down the hill and go around, they pass where you can go up a ladder, they get past the cave, and once they get around that corner, that people, once they get to the bottom of the hill, they speed up. So he now is walking backwards so he can see the cars coming. They've almost hit him 3 different times. So I like to do something before he gets hit.
So do you suggest it down the hill and on that curve area or
I would
past it to
start-
the,
I would do the 5 miles per hour,
How about that?
right, when you're going down the hill, because they shouldn't go fast anyway.
right,
I mean, there was a car that went off there years ago and went into the river, many years ago. But the 5 mile per hour and then a pedestrian walkway, it's a visual, I think would be helpful.
yeah, we have those
Yeah.
stencils that we brought up from the
I
garage.
just think. Really,
I do,
sorry.
I appreciate that. I like that because it is something that we are kind of proud of to have in a place we do, and it should be a place that we're touting for people to walk down and use. So anything at the front that's going to kind of give that, and then along the way as a reminder, whether that's the stencils to get people to slow down, because that's the last thing we want. We want that, but we want to promote it. We want people going down there, we want people walking, enjoying that, and not being.
There are lots of people who walk, not just dogs, but they walk.
I think any visual and maybe like that light at the beginning and then something visual, maybe towards as you come down and you make that corner, because it sounds like I'd say like majority are going to come down a little slow, but once they hit that plateau, that's when you're going to see. So maybe a painted visual with the stencil
Okay,
to have something along there.
did you guys want to buy another one too, or do you want to use what we have?
I think if we utilize
Because we have
the
the
stencil,
slow, we have slow 5 miles per hour, and we have a pedestrian walkway.
what do you think?
If you don't have a 5 mile an hour sign,
You can
it might not hurt to have that.
I mean, like,
visual.
so when we're going down, we could put this
It's-
Mhm.
as soon as they're, you know,
The sign is picking up like what she's talking about, and then have that on.
On the road, yeah. So yeah, the sign and then using this one right here to be able to put that on the road. I'm in favor.
and then if that doesn't take care of it, then maybe we can go with something like this.
Put a flock sign up there.
Mhm. Or do you want this too?
What do you think?
Is there a slow, do you know offhand, is there anything at the top
Yeah,
presently?
Okay, so
I mean, you could start with that.
I think if we could start with a sign that, like, if we could find just a slow
This,
sign and then add those on the visuals on the ground as well down there. I think we could start there.
see how that works. If it doesn't, we can do something else.
Mhm.
okay, so I'm gonna get a slow sign. That's gonna go on like a stop sign pole.
Okay,
And then we're also gonna stencil on the ground. And I'll get this for the ground and we can use those for the ground. And we'll see how that works. And then if it doesn't work, we'll revisit it and go with something stronger.
Sounds good.
Sound good? Do I have a motion to accept that?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second? All in favor? So, McGuire came and spoke with the water department. We've had here is the issue for the water towers. it says that there is minor deficiency was identified regarding system does not have a storage maintenance schedule in place and records kept. And then we're hit with, both towers are showing signs of aging and paint deterioration. So he went ahead and priced it. I don't have, a complete price list on it. It is very costly. So they were gonna paint the outside in two-tone. They were gonna put the bottom in blue, like a rebel blue, and they were gonna put the top in white. They would put Rockport back on it. Inside it, they were gonna have a stir so that all the water on the top wouldn't stay hot. Am I saying that's right, Eric? And it would kind of blend the water so that it wouldn't be stagnant,
Yes,
right? Okay.
yeah. We had, I don't know what your one, we had identified rehabilitating both tanks as part of a larger water project. We
Okay.
need a new water.
Yes.
So the driver from the planning standpoint really was those things. So they are needed, and we've got inspection reports from when we had them inspected probably a couple years ago. So it is expensive. It is usually something due to the cost that you need to bid out.
Yes.
So
Okay.
it is definitely, because it's over $150,000 you have to get,
Okay.
you have to do public bidding.
Right.
There are some companies, and we can talk about this, that provide like a maintenance contract, maybe a 10-year contract or something, required.
Okay.
Well, we can talk pros and cons of those.
Okay. And then maybe you could help me with
Yes.
getting the companies that could bid it out.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
So you actually made it and you paint inside and then
yes. Yeah, depending on what work is necessary on the inside, and how bad it is, it doesn't necessarily need to be completely blasted and recoated. A lot of times it does. And you take it out of service. The benefit Rockport has, because you do have to paint, right? You don't have different pressure zones. So they're basically both set at the same elevation. So you can take one down and the other one will serve your whole area. That's great. So that's what you do for our service. And then the exterior, depending on how bad it is, the spot grind and patch areas on it, and then do a wet blast, which is basically a high pressure wash blast, and then come back with a coating system on the top.
And am I right in saying this needs to be done every so many years?
Yes, it's usually about a 10 to 15-year cycle. It's very expensive to do.
Right.
So it's something that we need to work with funding agencies on that. But there are funding agencies that will help with that. Grants with it. Just got awarded, say, in Canada.
Okay.
So,
And I don't know how long it's been since ours has been, do you
I
know?
don't know, but I know it's in that.
Yeah. Okay.
So, it's good.
Okay.
It's good. We were holding on, trying to see what we needed to do with the water plant and packaging all that in one project. So depending on the scheduling with that this is.
Yeah. So I was just gonna try to get, your blessing and maybe the council's blessing that maybe we could at least start looking into that, even though it's not in the immediate future, but it's, something that we're gonna have to bid out and something that we're gonna have to do.
was there like research and maintenance? So that would be like a yearly check or be
Yes, right?
There can be. There's options for those.
Yeah. And it's something we could even do ourselves. Like we could start a different fund and all the money in there.
Yes.
And then when it's time, we would have the money saved and we wouldn't have to get loans in the future.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do I have your blessings for the council about it?
Got it.
Perfect. So there was a tree at Carolyn Kells. She had it taken down because it had mushrooms and all kinds of fun stuff going on it, and the branches kept falling on her customers' cars. So she went ahead and had it taken down by K&K. She paid $3,540. I had priced it out with Cheshire for $5,000, and then we had called Logan and didn't get a response. So she called me and asked me if we would help her pay for some of that or hold it or whatever. And we normally, it was in her easement. And at this point, we are dealing with trees on easement. And I was also gonna look at that in the future to see if we had to continue doing that because the city spends a ton of money on trees and that we didn't plant.
So that's a second corner, Fourth and Walnut.
Yes, no,
Yeah.
yes.
So
So I was gonna see if you could sent this on to council to pay for $3,520 for a tree that she had taken out. It was a huge tree. Motion to send to council.
I'll say,
All in favor? Aye. Next, I have got some prices too on the pickleball courts. I was gonna mention it to the council. They've already approved to put it in the parking lot by the pickleball courts with a walkover. And so I've got some prices for them to look at. Their variables differ, so I don't know, I don't have a specific price, and we may just want to go with someone who has time to do it versus being picky on, because it seems like they're all pricing about the same price range. Because this is their Super Bowl, so it's hard to find someone that will come and do it. But we have Mike Kimmel now fixing all the dirt work. He took out the horseshoe pits, and we have extra dirt from our sewer project, so they're gonna use it to help cover some of that. He's gonna put some pipe in from drain point to drain point that comes down off that hill, so that we can try to fix that problem, and we don't have to keep going back and, because it just keeps building up and then having another problem. So I was gonna talk to the council about that, but I want to let you guys know about it. I've been talking to Teresa Williams. She's from Smithfield Baptist Church. We were gonna get some type of sign because it's one of the oldest black churches around in this area. I think that Zell Museum even covers it. So they found a grant writer, commissioner, and the county historic commission send letters and supporting her in this effort of trying to fix that church up. When they first came over, they were over the Ohio River and they settled at Little Africa, which is in Patronville. And so they were wanting some type of sign put there too, to show where it's settled. Who owns that land yet? I'm gonna go to the county historic meeting and see, what they say about it. At any rate, at first I thought we were probably going to bring the aluminum, get some type of aluminum sign to put out to them. But now the big thing is QR codes. And you can scan a QR code, read all about it. And she said that she was very interested in doing something like that. So I'm gonna check into the pricing of that, see if the council will back us on. I don't think it's extremely expensive. I think it's something we can dock on our website. And that can be worth the story's told. And so whenever they hit that, it would take them to our website, a special page, so that they can read all about it.
is he also talking to Stephanie Richard?
She is.
For conservation?
Yes, and she's been talking to the county.
Yeah.
And so we've had many conversations about, what all that looks like. So I'm gonna try to pull in a little bit too. And, I don't even know where they're going to go get the grant. They have their own. They just need the support letters. And then we have 3 ordinances that Mr. Wisher's gonna talk about tonight. So I'll turn it over to him.
You guys, this first ordinance is ordinance 2026-7, which is the ordinance for additional appropriations. And it's $1,000 appropriated in the economic development tax fund. It says payroll and redevelopment. I don't know the details of that, but that is partially, it must be payroll. So
It is. So I think we put 1 police officer and a street worker on the, yeah,
That's right. And then some part of it must be, what we have to do to move money or to be able to spend money on the development commission grant program. That's one of those. So that's what that is. It just adds the appropriation to your And I was ready. Move on.
Okay. Do you have a motion to send to council? All in favor? Aye.
Next two ordinances, 2026-08, 2026-09. Um, 2026-08 is an ordinance establishing an ordinance violations bureau, city of Rockport, and appointing the city clerk's treasurer as the violator. This basically will allow, when there are ordinance violations that have a set penalty and fine, those to be administered by the clerk and not necessarily have to go to court. Folks can write a check for the fine, sign a waiver and admission, and send it in. And so that'll get that. And that's ordinance 2026.
Do you have a motion to send to council? Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye.
And then ordinance 2026-09 is an ordinance designating certain ordinance violations for disposition through the city of Rockport ordinance. You create the Ordinance Violations Bureau, which allows you to administer those violations in that manner. You have to designate which ordinances can be administered that way. And so we have basically taken, done initially an easy way, which is anything that's already in the ordinance where there's a specified penalty does not exceed $250 can be administered in the violations. And so we can create a schedule and add other ordinances and other fines to that as we go. I'm in the process of putting together a list of what those are through the ordinance. So and this will allow the police to be able to issue citations and actually collect fines, which we haven't been able to. Yeah. So that's ordinance 2026-09.
Do you have a motion to send to council? Second. All in favor? Aye. And last on the list is our fireworks were canceled this year because of lightning and storm threats. They made the decision not to go ahead because when all of that was coming, they put a valve back in the truck. It would have taken hours to get it back out and reset it. And so it would have just thrown everything really late in the day. So we've moved it to Labor Day. Actually, it's September 6th, the day before Labor Day. It's on a Sunday. And we're going to have those two bands. I think I've done all the fire and over. And so everybody come out and enjoy that. We'll have food trucks.
You've got 5 or 6 food trucks and just local people that are gonna use this for kids.
Does anybody else have any questions or comments? You have an adjournment?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
I was gonna shout out to the city workers for doing a great job.
Okay, thank you.
They probably don't get enough credit. And as I walk around town, they keep the curbs and gutters clean. The other day, when it rained so hard, they swept the rock back into the driveway out of the park so that people could get their strollers through and stuff. And they do a good job in picking up the sticks after the storms. So
I appreciate that. I'm thinking, well,
they know that people
Yeah.
appreciate it, even though they don't see it.
all right. Any more questions and comments? I have an adjournment. Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Get back on.
That was a long meeting. Never had one of those for a while.